Hi there, Flag High. I'm Mr. Lushart, and I'm here to join Mr. Cullen and all the rest of the faculty and staff at FHS that have been talking to you about Black History Month. This week, we've been talking to you about Congressman John Lewis and his idea of good trouble. This is Congressman Lewis after his arrest in 1961 at a civil rights protest in Mississippi. I'm going to be talking to you today about some other leaders who got into good trouble in order to take a stand against the treatment of African Americans. This is Dr. Harry Edwards. He spent most of his career as a sociology professor at the University of California at Berkeley. But this was Dr. Edwards in 1968. He was leading the Olympic Project for Human Rights, which called for a boycott of the 1968 Olympics to protest racial segregation and racism in the U.S. and elsewhere around the world. While the boycott never happened, Dr. Edwards did have an influence. Two American athletes were moved to take one of the most famous political actions in Olympic history. After Tommie Smith won the gold medal in the 200 meters and John Carlos won the bronze, the two men raised their fists in a Black Power salute during the national anthem. The silver medalist, Peter Norman of Australia, helped them to stage the protest, and all three men wore the badge of the Olympic Project for Human Rights, Dr. Edwards' organization. This is where Congressman Lewis's idea of good trouble comes in. Tommie Lewis and John Carlos were suspended by the U.S. Olympic Committee and sent home early from the 1968 Olympics. Both of them were criticized and threatened in the years after the Olympics, just for standing up for the rights of black athletes around the world. Peter Norman, the Australian runner, also faced criticism and sanctions in his home country. He was not allowed to participate in the 1972 Olympics, even though he qualified. And when Australia hosted the Olympics in 2000, he was not invited to take part in the festivities. Over the years, people began to look at their good trouble a little differently. This is Dr. Edwards with a statue on the San Jose State campus of Tommie Smith and John Carlos. They are all now considered heroes. At Mr. Norman's request, the silver medal stand was left empty so visitors could participate in the protest just as he had done in 1968. Dr. Edwards has gone on to be an advisor to the San Francisco 49ers, the Golden State Warriors, and Major League Baseball, as well as individual athletes like Colin Kaepernick. All of these men knew what it was like to believe in something, even if it meant sacrificing everything. That's good trouble. This is Black History Month at Flagstaff High School.